We are live. We are live at 5. Not 5 anymore. Kind of early, kind of late this morning. I'll wait a little bit, see if I can get everybody in here. I'm going to go to my phone, see if I can get logged in to the account. I should have already had this done. See what everybody's up to. I got a little thought about doing the Chevy. I'm going to get get everybody's opinion on that. But I think what I'm going to do, here we go. We're in like Flynn. I'm going to see, I got a Chevy C20, and I'm thinking what might be a good live is to just start tearing into that thing. Good morning. As you come into the live, if you would just put where you're from and what kind of hot rods you're into, motorcycles, whatever it is. In the mornings, we just kind of shoot the bull early. I usually have coffee with you guys and just kind of see what everybody's projects are for the week. We'll have some tools tonight that we can show. Everybody ought to be getting ready for Christmas. It's about time. So I put together a list of tools of people that might be looking for a tool for son, husband, brother, friend, whatever. Anyway, I got this C20. I've been thinking about getting everybody's opinion. I was trying to think of a good little project to do with that truck where it's not real expensive and somebody that has a little project at home. So I was thinking about doing, it's a 71 Chevy C20. I've had it for a long time. But what I was thinking about doing is doing an in-frame paint on it. Maybe pull the heads off. So do the heads, intake manifold, update the carburetor, put a camshaft in it, and just don't go too deep. Just it's a good solid motor. So I was thinking maybe that might be a good project, is just to show people how to do that, how to and just tape it off, clean it real good, and paint it in frame. I know that's not the proper way to do it, but I was thinking it might be good to maybe encourage somebody else to do a little project they have at home. It wouldn't cost a ton of money, and you could just upgrade it a little bit, make the engine compartment look nice. Maybe throw some valve covers on it or something. Anyway, I'm Go Big. I run Go Big Garage. We drop videos. We do lives Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. Hey, welcome to the live, everybody. If you would just drop in where you're from or what kind of hot rod you're into, or if we don't have to talk about just hot rods. In the mornings, it's pretty laid back. We just talk about whatever. I like to ride motorcycles, and I'm 61 years old. I'm still working as a mechanic. I've been an ASE certified mechanic for 40 years. And so I'm getting ready to go back to work in about a week. I'm not looking forward to that. So anyway, if you would just in the comments put where you're from. We're getting quite a little community going here. We got a good group of guys that are showing up here, helping people out with their vehicles. Giving input on problems, and just a nice little community going. I want to tell everybody thank you for all the new subscriptions we've just had. And before you leave, if you'd go down and look in the description, we listed some tools that I thought were a good deal if you're looking for a present or something for somebody. I'm thinking about doing a podcast. We've been having such good traction with the lives. I've been thinking about putting a podcast together and just telling stories. People love to hear stories. So I was thinking about putting like a little bit of story about life of a technician over 40 years of all the stuff we've been through, little funny little stories and stuff. We'll wait around and see if we get any traction. We had a pretty good live last night. We did a live for about 2 hours last night. But tonight, on Tuesdays, we teach. So I can teach automotive, but I was thinking tonight I might, we get enough people in the room this morning, I'll get an opinion on what everybody thinks we should do for tonight. I was going to do one of two things, and that was teach meter operation, teach you how to use a voltmeter, ohm meter, how to check a relay, how to do some different things. And the other thing is I've had this Predator 212 motor that I've had, and I was thinking maybe tonight, be a good time to do, just tear it down on live, get it up here on the bench. And hey, welcome to the live for you that just dropped in. In the mornings, when you see me on live, it's pretty laid back, have coffee, just talk about our hot rods and see what everybody's up to, what they're into. We get a lot of traction here. People from all over the world. We get people from Australia, India, all over New Netherlands. Just, it's pretty cool. Good group of people here. We keep it pretty laid back in the mornings. On Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, it's more, like we know what we're going to be doing. Mondays, we're doing questions and answers for people, but I don't know how Monday's going to work out. We did Monday last night. It was pretty slow. I'm thinking a lot of people watch football on Monday nights. I'm not much of a football watcher, but a lot of people do watch football on Mondays. So we may have to change up Monday night to Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday or something. I don't really want to do Wednesday because my girl's off work that day. And or that's her last day of working, so Wednesday nights. So we may end up doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. On Fridays, we do trivia. And then we give away a free tool. I'll show you guys what we just gave away. So on Friday, we gave away one of these, they're 1,000 lume headlamps. And they're rechargeable have a USB-C on them. And then they got 2 lights on them. Well, that's a side lighting. So you got right, left, or both. Pretty nice little light. But anyway, we looked these up on Amazon. They're like $50, but we got a really smoking deal on these. So I don't do politics here, just so you know. Don't do politics or religion. There's no room for that when you're talking about vehicles and horsepower. Keeps everybody from being upset at each other. So I have this, I should show you guys the Predator motor. I'll get up in a bit and we'll put the camera on that Predator motor. So I bought this, I didn't buy it. I took in a little Predator pocket bike on a trade that I sold to Harley, and the guy didn't have enough money. So I said, he wanted to know if I wanted to trade. So I said, what do you got? And he brought this little mini bike in, and it's got a little 212 Predator motor on it that's been upgraded to a stage 1. So I was thinking it'd be a good opportunity to teach people how to just learn basic automotive, because it's got a basic piston, crankshaft, carburetor. So I was thinking maybe we'll tear that down on the bench tonight for Tuesday night and see what kind of traction we get with the live if we just tear the motor down. I was thinking about getting a little kit for it and putting a new updated flywheel and some springs, and try to keep it under like $200 or something. Even cheaper if we can, like $150, because it's already got a nice carburetor on it and exhaust. So we probably just do the flywheel and maybe get a billet rod, a connecting rod for it, and a dome top piston, and throw some springs in it. And then I'm going to put it in a go-kart. This one here is going to go to a kid. He's about 10 years old, and I just thought that 212 motor is just too much. That thing will go 60 miles an hour, just like it is. So if I pump it up, I don't want to give that to him. I'm afraid he'll hurt himself with it. But anyway, this morning I was hoping we get some of our usuals in here, because I want to find out what everybody thinks about me doing the Chevy pickup as opposed to the IDI project, because I got a 71 Chevy C20 custom camper, and I'm thinking about doing an in-frame just pull the heads off of it. It runs fine. It's a daily driver, but I thought it'd be a fun little project to just kind of, clean it up real good and take the steam cleaner to it and then just paint it real nice. And then put maybe an intake manifold and a carburetor and stuff on it and see where we go from there. I know this is kind of an odd time. Most people are working this time of the day. And then our international people that we get, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock their time. So they're getting ready to go to bed. So I probably picked a bad time to do this live. But what I'm trying to do, I'm going to try to figure out a way where I can run B-roll so we can load these as a podcast and just do a podcast in the morning. I might even do a podcast this morning just because, you can just, hey, Maggot, how you doing? I was wondering if you was going to be here. Pretty slow this morning. Not much going on. I think most people are at work. I'll be working soon. I'll be in that same boat in about another week. I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about all the little projects. I've been off for 4 months and I still don't have them all done. I was hoping I'd get most of them done, but you know how that goes. There's always more projects than time, it seems like. And now it's getting wet outside, which I hate that time of the year. I was thinking about, I'm not sure if I want to tear into that Chevy. I was thinking about tearing into that 71 Chevy I got and teach people how to take an intake manifold off and maybe have the heads done on it. Just pull it down to the heads and clean it up real good. And don't pull the block out. Just leave it in frame and clean it up real good and paint it in frame. Move into a gated community for old people. Oh, really? You know what though? Those are a good deal though when people get to be a certain age, because then they're around people their own age, and it takes a lot of stress off of them, because they don't have to worry about a lot of things. It seems, it just seems it's a little easier on them. We had one of my neighbors, her mom was really getting where she was having a hard time. She had Alzheimer's and they really struggled about putting her in one of those places. But, she was being left at the house by herself, because everybody was working, and only took 4 years to get them there. Yeah. It's 10:32 your time. 10:32 p.m. or AM, Morty Smith. I never know where people are coming from. Maggot, he's from Australia. Yeah, you know what though? My neighbors, when they did it, their mom loved it. Once she hated it when she first went there because she was losing her house. Yep, that's what was happening with her too. She was starting to fall down and stuff at the house. And she didn't want to go. She was really upset, because she lost her house and all her animals and stuff. But once she got there, she loved it because she had friends. She had people her own age, and she didn't have to cook or think about any of that. Her medications were all taken care of. So it was a good move for them, because she was happier afterwards. She was like happier, got to go be in the activity room with all of her friends, and they play music and stuff. So, sometimes that's a good thing. I know I always said, man, I just don't want to be there. I hope I don't make it I hope I don't make it that long. I'm hoping I'm on my bike somewhere. Morty Smith, PM. Yeah, where are you from, Morty? Welcome to the live, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen you here. Where are you from? Sometimes when I get up super early, I'm going to start doing these. I don't know when they get milk for the house today for the unit and $500,000 in the bank. Good deal. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people where they lose everything they have when they get to that age because it costs so much. Here it's like, it's $3,500. My boss, he went through that with his mom, and they sold her house, and they got $300,000 for it. But the care for her was $3,500 a month, so that was 35, 40 grand a year. So she only had like 8 years worth of care because of her house, So the house only bought her 8 years of care. And then once they run out of money here, what they do is they put you in a state facility. Nobody wants to be there. Oh, Morty, okay, United States, Iowa. So it's in the morning where you're at, huh? Iowa. I've been to Iowa. My brother-in-law was driving cross country, and I went with him one summer, and we were in Sioux City, Iowa. I remember that. It was really humid when we were there. I don't know if it's that way all the time, but when we were there, it was really humid. Oh, Maggot, he's from Australia. Yeah, Maggot, that's a tough gig. I know, and you got to do the house and everything. But they're ready, huh? They were ready to move. Because a lot of elder people, they don't want to leave their homes. I know how, I can imagine what that feels like to have to leave your home, But it's better for them, especially when they start having problems where they're falling down and having injuries and stuff. That's what happened to my neighbor's mom. She was having a lot of problems, and she was really sad when they made her, because she was confused because she had Alzheimer's, so she didn't really understand what was going on. And then she kept telling them, I want to go back to my house, but she didn't understand, it was a permanent thing. Yeah. So I've been thinking about I want to schedule the lives where they're a little more structured. Like Mondays, I was trying to do question and answers for people. So I might just drop some short so people know what we're doing on Monday nights. So people can come in and ask about their cars, a problem that they have, or if they're thinking about buying a car, we can give them our opinion. They can ask mechanical questions, and we can answer them. It's kind of nice to have a mechanic's opinion on stuff sometimes, especially as high as the mechanic rates are now. The flat rate here now is $200 an hour in California for all my children, so it's all good. Oh, that'll be good for them. That'll be good for them, because then they'll get to see, they'll get to see their grandkids all the time. That might be a really good thing for them. Up dog. I can show you the correct way to kick a tire. Okay, we'll call you the official tire kicker. I'm just trying to think of ways we can be helpful to people, On Mondays, I want to try to, you got to figure out, we might not even do Mondays, because I'm thinking Mondays might be a bad night, because a lot of people watch football on Mondays. I know my kids do. You can't even talk to them on Monday. That'll be great for them. Good for them, though, man. I'm glad they were able to get enough out of their house to do that. Because a lot of people, they don't have that, If they don't have assets, they're in a bad spot when they get older. And we don't take care of our elders like we used to. You guys probably sound like you do, but a lot of families really don't take care of their elders like they used to. You see a lot of elderly people here, that are struggling, man. They're working at Walmart. Well, like me, I'm working right now. I'm getting ready to go back to work because I'm not elderly yet, but I'm 61. But, I don't want to work till I'm 80. That's why I'm doing this gig, trying to get some income coming in. We had a couple pretty good videos this week. Actually, I'm getting better at doing the videos. I can do a video in about 3 hours now, from the idea to posting. So do the idea, do the filming, and then get it posted. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be working Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. So I'm going to devote Thursday to the YouTube channel, and then I'll just keep doing the lives a couple hours in the evenings, and we'll see how the mornings go. What I'm trying to do is figure out a way. My sleeping patterns are so screwed up, man. I have a hard time getting a pattern going. But what I want to do is start getting up at like 3 in the morning and do the lives before I go to work. The only other way I can do it is do the lives after work, which would be 4 in the afternoon. But usually by the time I get off, man, I'm pretty beat. So I'm thinking if I could get up at 3 in the morning, do the lives early, that'd be like 3 o'clock your time. And then do them for a couple hours before I go to work. And then do the oh, really? Done lives for years, sometimes 6, sometimes 5. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of goes up and down, you know? And I know people don't want, sometimes people want to sit here and listen to one guy chat, yak, you know? But we get some good reviews sometimes though. People enjoy the lives. So that's good, you know? We get a lot of people, we've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately. Yeah, sometimes we get, the lives are pretty incredible when you're trying to build. We're already monetized, so we don't really need the hours. But I have another channel, and I'm thinking about showing people how you can get monetized because, you know, all these guys that talk about YouTube and teach people how to do YouTube and they charge them thousands of dollars, you know, they don't ever talk about the lives. Now I know why. They don't want you to know because they want you to pay them $1,000 to try to figure it out. With the lives, if you get some traction, like this month we had 500 hours of watch time on the lives, and that's a lot. But I thought about doing that with our other channel, show people how you can do it without having to pay. Because you have all these gurus on here saying, oh, if you want to blow up on YouTube, take our course. It's only $1,000, you know. We've only been doing the lives for like a couple months, I think. Yeah, because since I've been off, you know, during the summer. But I just started doing the lives. They kind of are easy to do, in my opinion. They're just like sitting around the garage shooting the bull with the boys, you know. It's easy to do. And we have people that have sent us you know, messages that says, oh, we watch your lives all the time. We listen to them. We listen to them when we're walking our dogs, or we listen to them, you know, on the way to work or whatever. So that's kind of cool. So I thought about starting to do, I'm going to tell my story a little bit too, because I got quite the story to tell, you know. I was raised up in poverty. You know, I lost my mom at a very young age from cancer. Then I lost my wife from cancer. And I was raised in poverty. Everything I got, I earned it, man. You know, by working hard. You know, raised a family, bought a house. You know, I'm no millionaire, but I got kind of a unique story to tell. And some things that have happened to me in my life, I'm able to help people through their struggles sometimes. We've had a few people recently that came in and you could tell they were just looking for a friend, you know. They were looking for somebody to talk to, which I'm good. I'm good at talking. That's what my girl said. She goes, man, you like to talk. I'm like, well, I got a lot to say. I don't have much time left on this earth. I want to get it all out. I don't want to forget that I forgot to say something. I met this guy on here the other night. We were having a live. He was from, I'm trying to remember his name, Bulldog or something like that. I got to start writing down these people's names so I can give them a shout out on the lives. But he was a retired military guy. And he said he lives in Colorado and he has an old panhead and stuff. And he said he had like 20-acre ranch in Colorado. Pretty nice guy. We've gotten a lot of those like that lately. I just got to figure out what's a good time for everybody, because and you can't get everybody's opinion because it's hard to contact everyone. I do the community. I've been starting using that community tab. Did you get a notification from the community tab telling when I told everybody thanks and everything, and we're starting to create quite a community over here? Because the community tab is supposed to go out to everyone. But I did some research, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, it's called kit.com, and you can set up like an email burner service where you can send out like 1,000 emails at once, and you can start an email list that way. I really need to start an email list because you just never know with YouTube, when they'll ban you for something, and then you lose contact with all your people. So I'm gonna do that, where we can start like sending out a weekly letter and reminders to people. Hey, we're gonna be teaching breaks or whatever we're doing. We can contact people a little easier by doing that. But I was thinking tonight, maybe I'll tear down that Predator motor. That might be kind of fun, but it's hard to keep yakking with people when you're like doing the work, but I'll try, see how it works out. I got to get my garage squared away. I got a pretty small garage, and I've been trying to come up with the funds to build a big shop in the back. And my garage is small, but man, I got so much stuff in there right now, tool-wise, and about the only thing I can work on in there is my motorcycle. So, but that's something I want to do anyway. I need to because winter's coming, I need to get so when the fire happened, we converted our garage to a living space to help some people out because they had nowhere to go. And so now all my benches are out of there. So now I need to get all that stuff back to storage, and all my stuff for my wife when she passed too is in there. So it's kind of a reminder I got to get rid of it. Not rid of it, but just go store it somewhere else where I don't have to see it every time I walk in the garage. But I need to get that garage. What I want to do is get the garage, cleaned out and maybe rent a storage. I know it's stupid to rent storage, but under this situation, I think it's going to be a good thing. Because my kids need to go through all their mom's stuff, and they live out of state. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to do is put all that stuff in storage, and just so I can empty the garage. I want to build a nice bench in there so I can get my electric glide in there and start tearing it down, tear the motor out, tear the tranny out, and then I'm going to be going back to work. So hopefully I have a little extra money because I want to get it painted. It's all up in the air, but I'm thinking about selling that. I have a really decent little diesel pickup, and I'm thinking about selling that diesel pickup and maybe one of my Harleys to finish up all my projects. Because I got some projects I want to finish. I hate having 4 or 5 projects and I can't afford to finish any of them. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. And I just bought that boat. I'm not getting rid of that boat, man. I like that boat. It is so cool. I can't wait to take it out. Actually, that's what I should be doing today. I found a guy that has because it came without a gas can. So it doesn't have the outboard can with it. I just had the gas line in a beer bottle trying to run it. So anyway, I think I'm going to go see if I can get that gas can because it's an old vintage can. It's in good shape. He only wants $30 for it, but I got to drive like 30 miles to go get it. But I'd like to get that boat running today. Just get some fuel in it and drain the lower end, put some outboard, put some lower end. I know I should take that lower end off, but I'm a little reluctant because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to find gaskets for it. But I know that impeller for the water pump should probably be done because the water pump impellers, they get dry and they're just made of rubber and plastic. So you just don't want to run them when they're tore up because they'll overheat. So I need to figure out the way to get a manual for it and make sure I can get a gasket for it. Because once I take that lower end off, if I can't get a gasket for it, I'm going to have a hard time putting it back together. I don't want to do that. So I might just run it, put some lower end fluid in the lower end, drain it, see what it looks like, put some new fluid in it, and get some gas in it and get it started and running good. I didn't realize, but I don't work on boats, so I didn't know any better. But I didn't realize, but you're supposed to, you're not supposed to try to put those in gear unless it's running. Because I thought I had a problem. I was like, man, this thing doesn't want to go in gear. I was trying to do the handle up front. So I took the handle, the cable off at the back, and I could get it in gear, but I had to kind of force it. It's like, it shouldn't be that hard, And so I talked to some guys on these vintage boat Facebook sites, and they said, yeah, you got to have them running. The gears don't want to mesh when you got them sitting still. They push against each other. So they said, you got to have it running when you put it in gear. I didn't really want to do that because I got it sitting in a barrel with the prop running in there. I didn't want to cut the edge of the boat of the container and lose all my water. So I'm gonna have to get it centered in there, make sure it's locked in good, and then put it in gear. See how see if it goes in a gear smooth. I got it to idle down nice. So I got the cables adjusted right, so both the carburetors are coming on at the same time. Somebody had it all messed up. They had the cable hooked to the lower carburetor linkage instead of the main linkage. So it has these little rods on there with rollers, so as it moves, it brings both carburetors in at the same time. Well, they had the cable hooked to that. And then I realized, I looked under the starter and there was a place for the cable to go. I was like, oh, they got the cable hooked up wrong. So I got that figured out, and then I adjusted it, and I got it adjusted with the idle screws. So I got a good idle out of it now. And then I lubed everything up, all the linkage and all that. And it sounds really good. I just want to get it where it starts really nice, and goes in and out of gear. And then I go get a gas can for it. I'm going to redo the electrical all the way up to the switch because it looks pretty rough. So I'm going to do that. But it's a pretty neat little boat, for $500, that was a steal. I think I could get $3,000 for that boat with it running. At least $2,000. But I'd rather keep it. I've always wanted, it's just a little pleasure boat, it's small, it's easy to tow. It'll be easy to launch by myself. If I wanted to go out by myself, I could. But I'm thinking I better get me a little kicker motor for it, like a little 5-horse, just in case. I'd hate to get broke down out on the lake. There's nothing worse than being broken down in a boat. I've had that happen before. So I was thinking, looking for a little Johnson 5-horse. Hey, William, how you doing, brother? So that it's a 63. So, it's a year older than I am. So that boat's 62 years old, but man, it looks nice. I got to start taking pictures so I can bring them up on the screen for you guys. Space Monkey, I'm loving your hat. Hey, thanks for saying that. I'm looking into getting some merch. Yeah, go big or go home. That's our motto, man. That's what we say here a lot. Go big or go home. On all my videos. Hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that. It's been kind of slow here this morning. We get more people here certain times. Old Maggot, he's here. He's from Australia. He's a good guy. I really enjoy his company. In the mornings I get on here and I just shoot the bull. Because I'm just having coffee and stuff. But we're we're trying to get a schedule going. I don't think Monday nights is a good one. We just did Monday night, and I think a lot of people watch football, so it's tough. And I've been doing the lives at 7 in the evenings, between 7 and 9. And that's kind of late for people that are on the East Coast because it's 10 o'clock their time. So I might have to start doing them like around 5. But I'm going back to work. I still working, I work part-time. And so I'm going to be going back to work in about a week. I'm from Southern Indiana, trying to get at least 50 subscribers. What are you doing? What do you subscribe? What kind of channel do you have? Do you have a live or a podcast or just doing videos? What are you doing? I'll give you a shout out I'll give you a shout out for sure. I like helping other people. Thanks, man. I hear that. I get that a lot. I've been trying to think about things to lean into. What I'm trying to do is make this YouTube thing work for me where I don't have to keep going to work half the year. I'd rather be at home doing projects than punching a clock. I like my job. I build police cars for a living. I've been a mechanic for 40 years. So I like what I do. But, and I'm working on the hats. I really need to get going on the hats. I got to set up that Shopify, and then we're going to get some hats done. But I didn't want to do cheap hats. I looked into it. You can get cheap hats, but I don't want cheap hats. I want to have good quality hats. They make a company called Richardson that makes good quality hats. And then there's one other one's called something Pung. It's a really common hat. But we're thinking about doing a hat order, but it's kind of expensive when you do an order. You got to do like at least 50. And then they're, but I'm thinking we could sell them for I asked the people here and everybody says that's a good deal. I was thinking like $39, $40 for a hat. But I've seen guys that are selling merch for like $70 for a hat. I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of money. That's too much. So I'm trying to find a good quality supplier. The Maserati, the West Australian caps just confiscated and rebadged into a police car. Oh, I'll check that out. Maserati. That's funny, man. They're resourceful over there, aren't they? You got to watch what you drive. The cops might want it. They do that here, man. They confiscate stuff, but they don't turn them into cop cars. Just randomly, not of contents. I love working on small motors and working with my hands. Hey, hang out. Come check us out tonight because Space Monkey, I think I'm going to tear down. I have a little Predator, 212 Predator motor, and I'm thinking about doing that tonight because on Tuesdays I try to teach automotive, and it's just kind of dry because you can't really show your personality when you're working on stuff. You become the instructor, So I was thinking about tearing down this 212 motor tonight. They target your car here if you do anything wrong. That's bull, man. Take your car. Yeah, Space Monkey. What I've learned with YouTube is you got to be consistent, man. Decide what you can do. Like if you can do one video every 2 weeks, do that. But do it every 2 weeks. I've dropped a video pretty much once a week for a year now. So I just looked, and we have 150 uploads, and we just had our 1 year anniversary. But they say that's the most important thing if you're trying to build a channel is to be consistent. And it's hard sometimes, life happens, That's kind of crap, Maggot. I don't know if I'd like that, especially if they try to take my Harley, man. I'd probably go to jail. So you ain't taking my Harley? We're going to box. You can't take my Harley. That's kind of bull in a way, huh? Guess they have a lot of power over there, huh? They get to do whatever they want. The cops here, when they bust people for certain things, they'll confiscate all their stuff. Then it goes to auction, and they sell it, and then the money goes into the general fund. One time at our shop, we had a car that was sitting in the back because where I work at, we have an area that they keep the vehicles that have been confiscated until they go to auction. And we went out there to put a battery in one, and we found $12,000 cash hidden in where the battery box is at. Every month you can pay $1,000 and get your car back. $1,000. They just rounded up to $1,000, huh? You keep it for a month, and then you got to come up with $1,000 to get it back. Gosh, I don't know. In my younger days, they don't hassle people. You know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of the way it is here too. I was telling my girl because she told me, "You better slow down." I said, "This bike don't even have a speedometer on it, man. This bike hasn't had a speedometer on it for 10 years." I said, "I just watched the tack." Anything over 4,000, I know I'm going a little fast. 4,500, that's the maximum. But that's the way it is here. You don't see a lot of bikes pulled over. I think it's because they don't like dealing with them, trying to get them transported and stuff. I don't know. You never see motorcycles pulled over on the highway. Once in a while, you'll see them like in groups. They'll pull over the head guy because they're going way fast. Usually what happens when you're in a group like that, like if you're a group of 50 guys, they'll get the front guy and the back guy. Those are the two that they'll give the tickets to. It's kind of funny because I think about it, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a motorcycle pulled over and being ticketed. Yeah, everybody else just keeps going. They can't stop everybody. They try to sometimes. They'll pull that front bike over and try to bring everybody else in, but man, everybody just goes. There's only one of him and there's 50 bikes. What's he going to do? You know, so he gives a big fat ticket to the front guy and the back guy. I've never been pulled over on mine, man. I've been ripping it. I've ripped through some canyons before. Usually, though, I'm not in traffic when I'm doing that. I'm just all by myself. But I guess they could give you a ticket, you know. But I never see it. I never see the bikes pulled over. You see them sometimes like on the rides, like if you go to like a big bike run or something, they'll be pulling over bikes and checking VIN numbers for stolen vehicles. But other than that, you never see them pulled over. And like I said, man, I flog my bike, man. I drive too fast. I need to slow down. It's no fun to, I don't know. That's why I can't have a really fast car. I go bush. Chat bikes are great in the dirt. That's funny, man. Yeah, those Harleys, they suck in the dirt, man. You can't get away. There's too much going on. I guess you could try. I had a little Enduro I could get off the road with. That was funny. I haven't forgot about you talking about the Honda Goldwing motocross. I was thinking, man, that'd be fun. Honda Goldwing motocross would be a blast. Hey, for any of you that just dropped in, man, we're just shooting the bull this morning, talking about hot rods and motorcycles and stuff. On Friday nights, we give away some tools. It's funny how the algorithm like pumps the live out. It's like you'll see like this, me and you in here, and I don't even know if that number is even accurate. Because sometimes I think when the ads come up, it drops everybody out or something. That's the thing. I need to put a little piece of tape over that number so I don't know how many people's in here. They leave the Goldwing dressed up too. They don't change them. Do they put different bars on them or anything? Or they just run them like that, huh? That's a big, heavy bike, man. I've done some stuff on Harleys like that, like climb hills and stuff. When I've had a little too many beverages, usually. So they just leave them stock. You know, you can buy those Goldwings here for cheap, man. I see them all the time for $500. They've been sitting, you know. I see them all the time. And they're a good bike. They're a comfortable bike. Have you ever rode one on the highway? Man, they're like sitting on the couch. They're very comfortable. They're a good bike for going on a long ride. That's what they say, us old Harley guys, yeah. Hey, Easy Money, what's going on, brother? Maggots in the house. We've gotten some quite a few subscriptions lately of new people too. They got a stereo and an ashtray. Yeah, they're comfortable though. I've ridden a couple of them, man. They're comfortable to ride. They say that's what happens to old Harley guys when they get old. They buy a Goldwing. I refuse, man. I want to keep my Harley until I'm toes up, man. Yeah, they usually have a nice CB radio in them and a stereo and cup holder, heated grips, all that stuff. Indian Skunk Works bike was the hill climber. Indians are nice. They're so expensive here now, you can't even afford to have one. All the original Indian stuff, you can't even touch them, man. They want a fortune for them. My buddy, he builds bikes and he's got a bunch. He's probably got 20 bikes in his shop, and he's a fabricator, and he builds, and he never gets rid of a bike. He'll spend like 2 years building a bike, and then when he gets done, he just parks it and he builds another one. He's got like 20 bikes in his shop now. But he was telling me, out of all the bikes he has, he likes that Indian more than any bike he has. He said it's the most comfortable, most maneuverable bike he's ever owned. And it's like a Indian, I think it's a Scout. My 42 was only missing the battery box. Really? That's awesome, man. Those Indians are something. You know, people don't realize, but Indian was around before Harley ever was thought of. You know, they kind of stole the market from Harley Davidson, stole the Indians market. But they've been around a long time. And if you look at the Harleys, they were designed behind the Indians. You know, they use that same thing, you know, the same kind of nice retro look on them. I wouldn't mind having an Indian. If I could afford one, I'd buy one. The Scouts, you see them here now, the newer ones, you see them going for reasonable, but the old ones, man, you can't even touch them. They want a fortune for them. I think my girl will be getting off. That's my problem, man. My girl, she works odd hours. She works from like 3 a.m. until 9. Abby Fieldman, no, I'm not. Thanks for asking, though. Are you single, Abby? There's some roosters running around here. You got to watch this crew here, though. They're kind of questionable. Where are you from, Abby? Abby Feldman. Welcome to the live, by the way. Yeah, I'm really chomping at the bit to get my electric glide going. I have all the parts to make a runner out of it, but it has a piece I've been putting off forever. There's a little spring inside the tranny that broke, and it doesn't pull it back to center. So when you shift it, you got to shift it up. So you got to shift to go down. So you got to center it. And I got used to riding it that way. It's kind of nice because nobody could steal it. They wouldn't know how to shift it. But I need to fix it because a couple times I went to shift it and I misshifted and got it into neutral. And I was like, man, if that happened when I needed it really bad, like a truck about to run me over, that'd be bad. So I need to tear into it. But right now, the only thing that's wrong with it is it finally gave up the ghost with the clutch. The clutch came apart. So I got all the pieces to put it back together, but winter's here now, so I'm just going to tear it down. Pull the motor and tranny out, and I'm going to send it to Colorado. Hey, thanks, Easy Money. I appreciate you reminding people to do that. My girl, she's always after me to tell people what to do. Hey, if you guys don't know, on your phone, there's 3 little dots in that right corner. If you kick on that, there's a place to like the live where you can like it and you can see the description too. We got tools listed in the description for today. If you guys want to take a look at those, we make a little bit of commission on some of that stuff. There's a really good deal on a set of Craftsman tools. If you know somebody that's just starting out, $69 for a 3/8 and 1/4 inch socket set with ratchets. Pretty good deal. Get this standard and domestic 3/8 and 1/4 inch. Pretty good set for the money. And then I got a couple tools on there I like that I think are a good deal. Those NoCo battery jumpers, they're like under $100 right now. The 40s, pretty. Those things are nice, man. Keep with you on the road. Like if you have a wife that's traveling and stuff, you can keep one of those for a no start. It'll jump start a diesel. When I raced in Butelman, I laid down and grabbed the shifter with my left hand and don't bother with the clutch. Yeah. I've done some riding where I don't use the clutch. You can do it. I used to do that on my Honda because you don't wear the clutch out. There's no reason to pull it in and out. If you do the RPM right, you can downshift and upshift with the just the foot pressure on the clutch. But when I got my girl on there, I need a clutch. Your race bike's a Honda? What size Honda? Is that like a motocross type race bike? A Honda what? I had a buddy who used to run flat tracks. He was a flat track racer where they have like a shoe on one foot. It's a metal shoe they put down on the ground, and then they just no brakes. They don't have any brakes on them. It's kind of wild to watch. It's a super light. It's better to just fix up my Easy Money. You gonna fix up that Buick and sell it? Oh, that's those flat trackers on wooden tracks. That's crazy, huh? You wouldn't think of that. Wonder what that's like to race on wood. That 66 Skylark will look nice fixed up. If you're going to sell it, though, don't do too much. You don't want to take all your profit out of it. Get it to where it's sellable. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some work on my Chevy. I was thinking that might be a good, it might be a good live to do the Chevy. I was thinking about just pulling the heads off and doing an in-frame paint job on it so I can show people how if you got an old pickup, you can fix it up pretty nice without spending a ton of money. And just pull the heads and do a head job on it, put a new intake, and maybe put a HEI in it and a camshaft. Get a bunch of weirdos in here something. Oh, you gonna keep it? Oh, good. That's a nice That's kind of a neat one. You know, when I go to the car shows and stuff, I look for that kind of stuff, something that's different. Because you see Camaros and Mustangs and Chevy pickups, and you see, I mean, you'll see 10 of or 15 or 20 of them. But I always look for the oddball stuff. You know, like the little Beetles that are all fixed up, or like an Opal, you know, something odd. And Buick's not crazy odd, but you don't see a lot of them. I think they're pretty cool, especially that year. A 66 Buick, a Skylark's pretty nice. What motor's in that? Easy money. What motor's in that Buick? Because I know the later ones had like a 231 V6 in them. They were a good motor, but they weren't no powerhouse, that's for sure. My problem is this guy, you know, I just let these guys talk because it's just helping our comments. They all get counted. Usually they're just some kind of troll. It's just some kind of like, I think they're bot. I think they're created by bots. I don't know. A 300. Is that a V6, a straight 6, or a V8? I'm not familiar with that motor. Not a bot. Well, okay, keep watching. Maybe you'll learn something. I'm just curious why people come in and badmouth people in their lives. Because see, what'll happen is I'll just throw you out. So you can be sensible and talk to everyone with some respect, or we'll throw you out. It's real easy. I just let people talk because you're just pushing my algorithm up even higher. Appreciate that. A 4.9. Okay, so it's a small V8. And is that an iron head block? Because I know that it seemed like Buick had some aluminum blocks, if I remember right. That's a neat. This guy's annoying me. Bye-bye. See you later. Go somewhere else. We don't need you here. Mr. Knowledge. 4.9 here is a 302. Huh. It's an iron block. Good. That's kind of neat though, because it's something different. You know what I was saying? It's not the normal motor, which is kind of cool. That's why I like those flatheads too. The flatheads I like in anything because they're just different. And they look really cool with all the bolts on the top, you know. I've always wanted to build something with a flathead in it. I'm not sure what I want to do with my old Chevy. I keep thinking maybe I ought to pump it up, you know, put a big block in it. But it's like a daily driver. It's 100% stock. And I was thinking, man, I hate to even take it away from stock. Maybe I'll just leave that old intake on there and just paint it up nice. And the carburetor could use some help. So maybe I would just get another Quadrajet to put on there. Holden Commodores. Oh, really? That's funny how all this stuff over there, huh, Maggot, it's named different and it's similar. And it's like, it's kind of odd how, you know, you tell us about this stuff. Gosh, I don't know about these weirdos. I tell you, that's a nice thing about StreamYard. It's really easy to get rid of people. It takes a half a second. I can see it really good on the desktop compared to the phone. On the phone, it's kind of hard because I have a hard time seeing that little tiny phone. But now that I got the new camera set up and everything, hey, we upgraded the StreamYard too. So next time I'm probably gonna I think I can stream in 4K. I'm pretty sure. We'll see if my camera will do it. We had a really good comment last night. A guy said, "Man, your video is super, super clear." He goes, "It looks amazing." And I was like, "Well, appreciate you saying that." We work on getting the audio and the video good. I don't care for this vertical stuff, but that's how everybody finds us, is on the vertical feed. So we'll have to keep it that way until we get enough subscribers. Once we get enough subscribers, we're going to go to a wide angle. That way I can go show you guys the bench, and I can like do stuff on the bench where you can see what I'm doing. As it is now, it's really hard to show people what you're doing with this vertical feed, because I have a fixed lens camera. Man, it's pretty wide angled. So, that's one thing. If I had to do it over again, I'd get a different camera. I should have bought a camera with replaceable lenses on it, because this one is more for like vlogging. So it's more like, this distance right here. So if you want to get a really open, you got to get the camera pretty far back. Anyway, that's another day. Well, I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go chase down a gas can for my boat. If you like the video, then go to liked videos and play it there. It changes the comments. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you like the video, then go to liked videos. Changes the comments. I'm not sure what that means. I'm trying to figure out a way to get more interaction. I think it might be the time of the day that we're doing it. Because when I do them at 7 at night, it's 10 o'clock East Coast time. So a lot of people, and during the week, people work, So I probably should really think about doing them like Saturday night, maybe Saturday afternoon around 5. I think I'm going to have to change the time. Mondays, I seems like are a bad day. And then when people, like right now, this is a bad time to do it because most people are working. So it's best to do it like around 3 in the afternoon, because then you get the West Coast crew, they're getting off work around 5, 6. And then the East Coast crew will come in a couple hours. So I'm thinking you might want to start doing it around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. But that's when I get off work. Man, I'm usually beat by then. But maybe I can just have me a big cup of coffee when I get home from work. I'm not looking forward to going back. If you have full screen of you with comments disappearing up, it changes it so you're there with the comments below you in their own section. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because you know what? I'm looking at the StreamYard. All I see, I don't see all that. So I'm looking at my phone. So I see. So if you have a full screen of you with comments disappearing up, it changes it so you sat there with the comments below you in their own section. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to figure that part out. I'll check that out today, Maggot. Figure out how I can do that. So there's a way I can get the Let me play with this thing. Let's see what this looks like. What does that do on the phone? I'm just playing with the software to see if I can get rid of the comments on the phone. No, I gotta figure. So I see what you're saying though, Maggot. There's a way to put the comments where they're not right over my front of my chest, right? I see what you're saying. I'll figure that out. I'll do that today. I'll figure that out because I didn't think about it. So when I'm looking at the software, I don't see all the comments. It's over on the side. Because are you on your phone, Maggot? Are you on your phone or are you on your laptop? Let's see. Can I don't think. Okay. I'll have to play with it because right now I'm on StreamYard. You guys don't see it, but I'm on StreamYard on my end. But I see what you're saying. You're saying we could get rid of all the writing on the where all the comments are at, huh? Yeah, I have to mess with that. I have to figure it. So you have to like the video. And then go to likes and push play there. Let me see what this does for me. So I did something on my phone and it got rid of that, like you were saying. What I did was I put in live chat, I clicked on it, and it took away all the comments off my screen on my phone. But see, when I'm on just my phone, then I can't see the comments. Hey, Mr. Williams, I'll give you all day, dude. I don't know why people come in these rooms and I don't understand it, to be honest with you. The trolls, I don't understand trolls. What is the what is the reasoning behind that? So I keep my phone going so I can tell if I've lost the volume or something because I can turn it up and down. So I keep my phone. So I got my phone there so I can see what you guys see. So it gives me an idea if I'm staying in, like if I'm looking off in the wild blue yonder or something. I got my camera directly behind my laptop now. So we now live in an open air lunatic asylum. That's what's happening. Yeah, I try to figure it out. Like when I first started doing it used to really frustrate me. I used to get irritated. I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna reach through that screen and pull your freaking nose off your face. But I think it was Slapstick, or is that his name? Stick Shift. He told me just let him do it because it's just helping you. The comments, it just shows that we have more comments, which helps the live. But I get tired of everybody having to see what they're saying, and it catches my attention. I'm like, it kind of gets me off subject sometimes. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of things about people anymore. Nobody's accountable for their actions anymore, Just like, you know, people at work anymore. All they have to do is show up. You know, you don't have to produce anything or put any effort into anything anymore. I don't know how people keep their jobs half the time. Drive you insane. Some are paid, some are just brought up wrong. Yeah, it's a big game for them. We're going to start having moderators. I got to figure out how to do it on StreamYard, but for some reason I couldn't find how to do the moderation on StreamYard. So I got to figure that out. And then it has a private chat on here too. Like I can do private chat. So I don't know what that's about. So I got some stuff I got to play with StreamYard so I can figure it all out. Not sure what that young dagger slick, what you're talking about. So what are you doing, Maggot? You're about ready to hit the sack, aren't you? What time is it? Let's see. It's getting about bedtime your time, isn't it? How's the garden doing? Man, I'm jealous right now. I was telling my girl, I said, Australia, they're summertime right now. They're able to grow vegetables and stuff. I was like, man, I'd love to be able to stay here through summer and then go to Australia for winter and just follow the sun. Oh, it's getting late your time then, 1 a.m. Yeah, so it's late your time. So you're so it's 9:30 a.m. here, so there it's 10. So you're about 15 hours ahead of me. Sheep poo today on your garden. How often do you do that on the garden with the sheep manure? Do you put it in a pile and let it compost a little bit, or you put it on fresh? Yeah, it's Wednesday your time. If you had 500K, what would you do first? Buy me a new Harley. Probably not. I'd build me an old one. Build me an old Harley. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to follow. I bet you that's what rich people do. They just follow the sun. Get on a plane and go where the weather's nice. We're just going to keep after it with this. Okay. Yeah. So straight right onto your beds. Do you do raised beds, or you just do you put the fertilizer right on your beds or in the troughs where you're watering? I'm going to do a bunch of tomatoes this spring. I'm going to get started early on tomatoes this year. I'm going to start them about mid-January, get my starts going, and then we're going to have a plant sale, and then I'm going to plant the heck out of tomatoes this year. I got to stay on top of my fertilizer this year, though. I don't do fertilizer, I do organics, so I got to stay on top of it. This year, I kind of slacked off about halfway through the season, and you could really see it in the tomatoes. But we had a lot of tomatoes this year. By the end of the season, they were getting $7 to $10 a pound for heirloom tomatoes here. $7 a pound for tomatoes. It's like price of a steak. So I told my girl, I said, man, next year we should really plant up the tomatoes, man, because we could probably, I think we could make an extra 20 grand out of the garden next year if we hustled. We'll see. Hey, for those of you that just dropped in, man, you're talking to Go Big. We do lives Monday. We're going to change the date. Monday doesn't seem to be working very well. Tonight we'll be doing a teaching live where I'm going to either tear down this 212 Predator motor, or I'll teach some electrical diagnosis with a meter. And then on Fridays, we have a tool giveaway. We gave one of these away this Friday. They're a 1,000 lume headlamp. So we have like trivia on Friday nights. And then we just do questions and answers. And at the end of the live, we just spin a wheel. And if you're here at the end of the live, you have a chance to win one of these lights. We're going to do another one this Friday. So if you've never been to one of the lives, come check out our Friday live. It's pretty good. You have a chance to win a free tool. I mean, how get no better than that? Free tools. Who gives out free tools? Free of charge. Within the U.S. only. I still got maggots. I got to get yours to you. I got to figure that out. I'm getting ready to go back to work, though, so I'm going to have some extra money coming in pretty soon. When I'm off work, man, I lose about $2,000 a month until I go back. So I've been off work for like 4 months now, 5 months. I think I've been off since it's like July, August, September, October. Yeah, I've been off work for 5 months. I live alone, so I don't bother with time. Yeah, I guess you get to do whatever you want when you want. That's how I've gotten to being off on these 5 months. It's like I get up, I don't sleep a lot anyway, but it doesn't matter when I go to bed or when I get up because I don't, I got nothing going on. But I think my girl might be home. I thought I heard something. Maybe not. Anyway. Well, brother, I'm going to call it a day. I thought I'd just get on here and have some coffee with you guys, see how many people showed up. And for those of you that just showed, if you wouldn't mind, give me your subscription. We do lives 3 nights a week. And then I do lives early in the morning, just shooting the bull. So if you wouldn't mind, give us your subscription. And on Fridays, like I said, and before you guys leave, go check out the description. I put some tools in there that are pretty good deals. Some tools that I use, like the no-code battery jumper. I put a Power Probe torch in there that I use for soldering that I really like. And if you've never used the stubby wrenches, man, those are a great tool to have. I put a set of gear wrenches in there that are stubbies that ratchet on one end. They're about this long. But man, of all the tools I have in my box, when you really need a tool, those little stubbies are nice because they swivel and they're short so you can get into places that you can't get into with a long wrench. So anyway, let's make you think extended warranty man, people are annoying. It's funny how people just think they can say whatever they want. Probably some fat guy in out in the middle of nowhere sitting there eating Cheetos in his underwear. Anyway, if you guys before you go, if you would go check out in the descriptions, there's some links there for some tools. And then tonight at 7 we'll be live. I think I'm going to tear down that Predator motor tonight. I'll put it on camera and just tear it down. Try to talk to you guys at the same time. We'll see how that goes. I'm just going to tear it down and get a gasket set for it and put it back together. The gasket set's like $20 or something. So it'll be pretty fun. All right, I'm going to go, man. Hey, Maggot, take care, brother. Get some sleep. Maybe I'll see you the next time I'm doing a really late one. Never know when that's going to be. Take care. Hey, take care of yourself. Later.